started with the tweets reactions, you guys. So here's one of the hot topics from this week. There's been a lot of conversation about this, you guys. I want you guys to tell me what y'all think. So look right now. So this is Beyonce talking to Jay Z. I'm gonna play the sound for y'all. Hold on, let me turn it up because Twitter be quiet sometimes. Nah, this is the sound. I'm gonna play the sound for y'all. I want to hear you guys' opinion on this yourself. Yeah, let's just listen to the context. So if I'm not mistaken, Jay Z is 12 years older than Beyonce, right? And we know back in the day, it's very common for a really older guy to get with a really young girl. And if I'm not mistaken, the story kind of goes, I think Jay Z met Beyonce around when she was like 17. I don't know the exact timeline. Look, those of y'all who were alive back then, y'all tell me if y'all know more specifics than that. But it's interesting how over time, like, certain things become way less, like, acceptable. I think this should be one of those things. What's good, Nufi? Okay, let's listen to it. Let's hear what she said. She was making her speech to her man, period.
This is nothing compared to what you've done.
Can y'all hear this? She quiet. She, you know, she be whispering.
You've taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating.
Oh, there she go. There we go. She said I was 20 years old when we first started dating. Hold on, let's run that back.
You've taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating.
20, child.
You taught me how to live. You taught me
Taught her how to be a woman. He taught her how to be a woman, y'all. Okay, girl. It'd have been your dad.
You've given me so much in life, and this is not enough. It's not enough I can give you. I just want you to be happy. And every year, I'm even more in love with you. And I want to spend every day of my life with you. Happy birthday. And I thank God for you every day.
Girl, okay, child. Anyway, so the point of this, right? There's been a bit of a conversation. So I'm gonna read this person's tweet because I feel like this represents, you know, kind of what most people are complaining about. So this person said, one of the most egregious examples of grooming being ignored by the public, and a huge part of that is because she's black, and another part is she's Beyonce. She's the queen, unimaginably strong and impactful. She is female empowerment. How could she possibly be a victim? So this is where we expand the conversation, okay? I don't like leaving conversations at surface level. So I think I kind of get what this person's saying here, right? But let's just talk about grooming, because I feel like there's a lot of men out there, when we start talking about the whole grooming thing, they get really defensive. And personally, this is just my philosophy. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about it. But I feel like, okay, age gaps is one thing, right? But like, this guy met her when she was a teenager, and he clears her by 12 years. He's 12 years older than her. I feel like they're reaching for clicks a bit. Please expand. So like I was saying, like, I feel like when people hear grooming, they think, oh my God, this is a pedo literally grooming a child, abusing them, da 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 da. That's not the only version of grooming there is. There could be, I feel like it's a spectrum. I feel like there's an acceptable spectrum of what grooming is. I don't know what age gap y'all think is acceptable. You know, everyone has different things, but I just feel like teens to 20s, the years aren't quite the same as after you're like 25 and then in your 30s. So if a person is like 32 and then their partner is 20, that is like a huge difference in where they're at in life. That is a huge difference. It's not just 12 years, it's damn near like double 12 years, because the difference that you experience in life from like, I don't know, like 18 to like 25, then 25 to 30 to 35, like, it's significantly different. How old was she when they first met? They said she was like 17 or 18 when they first met. and they start dating when she was 20, right? And like now, right, looking at myself, let's just use me as an example, okay? Looking at myself, I'm like, wow, okay, 20 is like a baby. That is a baby. Like, you're a baby, like, at that age. Like, you feel like you're an adult, you feel like you're grown, but you're still so easily like influenced, right? I think that's why like a lot of people kind of feel like you need to wait till you're like 25 until you do certain stuff because your prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. So like I feel like being around someone when they're that young and then going back and then dating them, and then she's talking about, oh, you taught me how to be a woman. Okay, that's like kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie, because first of all, you should have been learning from your raggedy ass dad how to be a woman. That's number one, in my opinion, right? Should have no grown men be teaching you how to be a woman. That's just me. But what does that mean? That's where I think the grooming thing comes in, where it's like it's not the most extreme version of grooming, but it's like this is the version where it's a little bit more acceptable, where a man molds the woman into like who he wants her to be. And that's kind of tricky, right? Because a lot of people say a man should lead, you know, a woman should listen to their husband, boyfriend, etc. But I think there's a difference between a woman liking her man to lead and a man literally like shaping who a woman is as a person. And for me, that whole dynamic is very strange, where like you're targeting somebody that's at the earliest stage of their life because they're most impressionable. And not only that, you feel like you can have more influence on them. Like I've directly heard some men say that, oh, we don't want to deal with the older woman because she's been through too much. What, you mean like she's actually been through life and experienced things to have a little bit better discernment than like a 18 or 20-year-old? Yeah, it's easy. It's easier to have your red flags as a person look past by someone that doesn't know what they're doing, you know? Yo, Ziv, thank you so much for the raid. W Ziv. Coach Cape, what's good, fam? What's good? How are you? But I'm just telling y'all how I feel. Shout out to Ziv. What's good? We got the Love Shack in the building. How we feeling? Welcome on in, you guys. Ziv was playing regular COD today. Y'all, if you don't know Ziv, that's my guy, VR Goat. We're gonna talk a little bit later. You know, Ziv, I'll be in the Discord a little later for the news segment and all that to get your perspective on things. But I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for everyone in the chat. Coach Kate, thank you so much. When I get in the flow, I'm in the flow, okay? So let me just finish these couple this topic right here. But that's pretty much the most part of how I feel about this situation, where I feel like, see, like I think another good example of this is I don't know if y'all remember Seinfeld, like Jerry Seinfeld. He was with this like 17 or 18-year-old, and he was like 35 or something back in the day. Hold on, I'm gonna look for the picture. And they were like in the press and the papers and all that, and it was like a it couple. And it's like the difference in years really makes you look at that back and be like, okay, that's kind of wild. I don't remember the girl's name. Yeah, he was, yo, they said he was picking the girl up from high school. It's her right here. 30, oh, my bad, my fault. He was 39. That's even worse. That's even worse, bro. Yeah. So like this type of thing, this is what the Beyonce situation reminds me of, right? And because of the time, it was like, oh my God, they're the it couple. But it's like, it's I don't know, it's weird. I'm gonna read the comments. Oh, Dusty, I know, that's what I'm saying. 17, like that used to be acceptable. Like, bro, they had them on the damn cover of the magazines. Look, see, look, this is crazy just looking back at this, right? I don't know what year this was, but look at it. It says, look who's in love. Jerry Seinfeld 39 and Shoshana Lowenstein 18 make an unlikely romance work. Like, just look at how it's being talked about. It's kind of crazy. But I think this is part of the things that society has to evolve to, and at that time it wasn't acceptable, but now we have to have conversations about why this is unacceptable, because some people genuinely don't understand. Like, I've had conversations with some men who genuinely don't think it's wrong for a 35-year-old to be with the 18-year-old if he has money, right? And you would think that, like, some people can be reasoned with, but like, that whole element of having money makes a lot of stuff way more acceptable. Like, we know that there's a lot of rich guys where they have a hella money. We know they're gonna go for a young girl. We know they're gonna go for like a college girl or whatever. And it's like, we really have to question where that culture is coming from and what the intent is with that. In my opinion, that's just me though. So let's read some of the comments for this tweet, and then we're gonna move on to the other tweets, and then we're gonna get to the news and talk about some serious stuff. But for now, we're gonna get through all the funny or less serious things, less egregious things. Okay. Let's see what people are saying. At what point does a woman become responsible for herself and the decisions she makes? This person said, not when she's a teenager, period. That's all I'm saying. And that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other argument I want to address right quick. I will hear a lot of people say, like, when it comes to like young girls being preyed on by older men, they're like, oh, well, she's just being grown, or she's just being fast. I'm sorry. I'm not about to sit here and blame a young woman or young man, because this happened to young men too, where they have a older woman preying on them. That's something I take very seriously, because it's very downplayed in the male community, and I'm not going for that culture of, oh, it's cool if you're a young guy with the older woman. No, it's still predatory, period. And I know it's like kind of normalized with the men, and it's like something a lot of them take pride in, but at the end of the day, I'm keeping the same energy. That culture is not okay on the male side either. I'm not going to be quick to judge a young person when I literally know their decision making is extremely like different and underdeveloped compared to an adult. I'm always going to put the responsibility on the adult, because if you're a grown-ass man and you're going out your way to find young women to prey on, because literally their brain, all the neurons are not connected, they're not fully formed yet, so you're making a choice to do that. Of course the young person is going to make dumb decisions. Didn't we all make dumb decisions when we were young? I'm just saying. So let's see what else it said. A 30-year-old, we have to clearly define grooming, because a relationship between two adults is way different than someone pursuing a minor. This person said, a 30-year-old man waiting for you to turn 18 isn't exactly a good example of two adults. Come on, can we get into it? Why do we have to sit here and break down stuff like this? It's very strange. The whole concept of waiting for a girl to turn 18 is just like, it's extremely strange. It's extremely strange. So let's see. Grooming a grown woman, y'all really should learn words before using them incorrectly. Okay, I know they're about to pack you up. Yeah, that's crazy. Anywho, girl, let's go back, chat. Let's move on to the next little story. Okay. Okay, I saw this little tweet. 10 said, I've been preyed on by older men as a younger man. Not okay or cool. Yes, and I'm sorry for that, 10. I'm so sorry for that, and I really empathize with that experience, because that's what a lot of women experience. And I understand, like, for the men, it's harder to talk about, right? Because if you're talking about an experience with a woman, like, I've seen men try to like downplay what other men have experienced with getting preyed on by older women, and there's definitely those creepy predatory old men as well. And it's really just not talked about how like both genders at young ages get preyed on by like everybody, like and I hope that we're able to like have these conversations more, because I think it could make us more empathetic towards each other, right? Because it's always the loud people, the loud voices that get hurt the most, right? And those are the people who a lot of times are trying to justify or downplay that, and I'm not with that. I'm not going for it. It's valid from everybody's experience, and it's extremely weird, extremely uncomfortable. Like, you could be a young girl, like, I'm talking, see, I don't know, like, men can tell me your experience. But like on the women's side of things, very common to be a young girl. Young, I'm not, I feel like some men think that women just are like defensive or scared or cautious for no reason. But no, we have experiences from where we're very young from men like cat calling you, being like too friendly. Like Bestie was telling me about this guy at church that was like calling her his girlfriend or whatever. He's like 40 years older than her and stuff. She's uncomfortable. And some family members kind of saying, "Oh, he didn't mean it like that." But it's like it's little stuff like that where you have to end up being nice in order to ensure you're being safe. Or another situation where Bestie was at the at the bus stop going to work, and this dude was literally like, I was on the phone with her, and this dude was like walking up to her, and she had been telling me about this guy, like trying to talk to her, trying to get her number. And it's like, the thing that's scary is like the threat of violence if you like speak up or try to fight back or protect yourself against men. Like that's the kind of unspoken thing. And it's like, until someone gets hit or beat or some other violent thing happens to them, people don't really take it serious, unfortunately. And like this guy, like, she told him that she wasn't interested in him, and he literally ignored that. Like he literally acted like he just didn't hear anything she said. "Oh, why don't you give me a chance? Why don't you I'm not like all these other people. I just want to be your friend. Can we be friends? Like, oh, you didn't text me back the other day." Like little stuff like that, surface level. People, I've heard guys be like, when women complain about like cat calling or people approaching them, "Oh, y'all just so stuck up. Y'all are so this, so that." It's like, no, niggas literally don't listen. They literally don't listen. And it's like, what do you do in a situation where you can't get away from somebody like this? It's like literally it could be life or death. Because you never know what type of response you're gonna get from a guy if you say no or if you reject them. It could be anything from, "Oh, that's okay," to, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." Literally, it happens all the time. I just saw a story the other week in the UK where a girl rejected this guy, and he killed the girl's friend that was trying to protect her from him. That shit happens way more than people think. Like, hold on, let's just look up some news stories, because I think some people really don't understand how often this type of thing happens, where like a woman says no, or literally just anything the guy doesn't want her to do, and like it ends with her getting killed. Like, it's too many stories like this. Let's see. Here, where's the brick thing? Well, there's the brick thing, and then there's the UK thing. See, okay, here we go. A woman rejected a man's advances, and he hit her in the face with a brick. Did y'all see this story the other week? This was in Houston. And then there was another, it was a girl. Look at this, 2017. Woman savagely beaten after she rejected a man who tried to chat her up. You don't know which kind of person you're gonna get. You really don't. Look at this. London. Man threatens to kill London woman after she rejected him and refused to go on a third date. Niggas think, and you know what the answer is always from a lot of men? "Oh, women need to carry a gun. Women need to carry pepper spray." It's like, yeah, but like the fact that we have to even think about like using those means to protect ourselves is like insane. It's insane. Where's the one with the lady hit with the brick? I can't find the brick lady. Debunk. Bro, I've heard that it's debunked. I heard people say like she's a scammer, all this one. I don't know. The brick one isn't the best example. Okay. Whatever. It's always a fucking excuse. It's always an excuse. Like, and it's like, okay, first of all, until somebody can give me hard evidence that she faked it, like I feel like the burden is on the people who are claiming that it's not true. So if there's some information about it not being true that is actually like real solid information, I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, look, we have evidence that she didn't file a police report." Da, da, da. Okay, whatever. I heard people say she had an allergic reaction. Okay, y'all do anything to not believe women, and I just get it. I get it. Y'all are always gonna try to find a way that it wasn't some type of violence, but the reality is that there's too much violence against women, and black femicide is still a thing. So until people address those points, I'm not trying to hear no fucking conspiracy theories about why this lady is lying until people give me some hard evidence. Cause it's like I've seen the arguments that people made about it not being real, but none of it looked substantial to me. I saw her slapping a few people in public. Hey, I don't know what to say about it. But at the end of the day, the point still stands. Like, I'm sure out of like 10 incidents, one of them is fake for like everything. So I can't say for sure, you know, I'm just here to talk about the bigger issue and expand on the topic, you know. Jamae, what's good? Hold on, I missed some messages. No, but I get what you're saying though, Tin. I get what you're saying. I hear about it uncomfortably frequently in the music scene and like shows and stuff. Yes, Chancellor, man, the music industry is like the worst like example of this, you know. I'm good, Jamae. How are you doing? Legend, let's go. We got one of the goats, Jamae, in the chat. So Chancellor said the bass nectar situation disgusts me. 40-something superstar DJ caught grooming and SAing underage girls. Now he's trying to make a comeback. What? That's crazy. Bass nectar? Oh, so this is the guy? Narcissistic tirade. So this guy, so he was grooming. It's crazy too, because like the people in the music industry get away with this stuff some like more than anybody else against the men and the women. And it really sucks for the men because a lot of the men are never gonna talk about it because a lot of them got emasculated and just abused by these men in the industry. And sometimes I wonder, like, do they hold that over their head as like some blackmail or something? Like, that honestly doesn't seem like too crazy of a theory. Like, I could be tripping, but like I've heard some people, like, you know, they will use these things they do to these men trying to come into the industry, or the women too. It could be the women too, you know, use it as like blackmail against them and stuff like that, you know.